It's about 40 minutes now in the encounter between the Super Falcons of Nigeria and, of course, the Spanish women national team. And still a barren draw at the moment. Of course, no goals. Of course, girls doing their best to see how they can possibly get their first point of the 2024 Olympic season. Of course, this and so much more. We're talking about it. Of course, we're already in the Olympic season, and definitely so much regarding the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. So we'll be talking about, of course, we'll not forget that the Belgian Grand Prix went down earlier today. And of course, yes, there's a champion regarding that. So I just take this breather and then, of course, we start from all the sports. Yes, of course, we're starting from Formula One, where earlier today the Belgian Grand Prix was held, and of course, it was a fantastic and entertaining one. Yes, of course, whereby Lewis Hamilton was able to win, despite with George Russell getting disqualified for having an underweight car. Quite like I said, was really an thrilling and, of course, interesting Grand Prix earlier today. And of course, this is Lewis Hamilton second victory. Yes, of course, with though George Russell did win it, but then he was eventually disqualified after 2.5 hours, whereby they had looked at it and then realized that his car was on the weight. Of course, by found out that it was 1.5 kg underweight, and his team with that is George Russell's team admitting a genuine error. So, of course, that made Lewis Hamilton eventually get to win his second Grand Prix in the 2024 World Championship. And of course, after that, Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri came second, of course, with Charles Leclerc coming third, and Max Verstappen sadly couldn't make the podium, as despite starting from 10th spot, the end at the beginning of the proceedings, he eventually finished in fourth position. Of course, after the final verdict, the team principal of Mercedes, Toto Wolff, stated that it is what it is. The mistake has happened. We have to learn from that as a team. They are more positive to take. Obviously, for George, it's a massive blow. Yes, of course, George Russell is Lewis Hamilton's teammate. And, of course, he now eventually was able to take, despite the fact that it would have been a plus for Team Mercedes finishing 1-2 position. But then, with the fact that George Russell's, car was underweight by 1.5 kg, Lewis Hamilton had to take all the points. But then, of course, looking forward to another Grand Prix. Of course, all roads will be looking forward to the next one, which will be held in a couple of weeks. And, of course, for Oscar Piastri, despite leading in the starting off in the leading pole position, he couldn't get to win the race. But then, of course, came second. And, of course, in the standings right now, we have him still in fourth spot with 164 points. Of course, we have Lewis Hamilton now that he has been given the victory for today's Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, it's now 2 victories for him, and his points will definitely get to increase. But then top 5, we have Max Verstappen still leading with 275 points. And then, of course, we have Lando Norris coming in second with 197 points. And then we have Charles Leclerc, 174 points in third position. Oscar Piastri in fourth spot with 164 points. And, of course, we have Carlos Sainz in sixth spot with 160 points. Of course, for Lewis Hamilton, he's in sixth position, but then his points will now definitely get to increase with what as after all the proceedings that went down today. So the next one now will be next month, of course, in August, and it's the Dutch Grand Prix in about 3 weeks' time in Zandvoort in Netherlands. Of course, after that will be the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. From there, of course, Paris 2024 Olympics. So much is happening. A lot is going regarding the Olympic Games. Of course, the first from the medals table, China is leading, has about 3 gold medals, but then interestingly, Australia leads with 4 gold medals, 2 silvers, and no bronze. Korea have 3 gold medals, 2 silver, and 1 bronze. And then, of course, China come third with 3 gold medals, 1 silver, 1 bronze. And Japan also have the same number of medals as China with 3 gold medals, 1 silver, and 1 bronze. And then, of course, host France have 2 gold medals. Of course, the first gold medal that they were able to win was they got that in their when they were able to defeat Fiji 28-7 at the end of the rugby 7 finals of the rugby 7. Yes, they went from 0-7 down to win that 28-7, and they were able to pick up their first gold medal. That's talking about France, the host. Of course, they have 2 gold medals, 2 silver, and then 2 bronze. And then, of course, Team USA have 1 gold, 3 silver, 2 bronze medals. And then, of course, we have Kazakhstan with 1 gold and 2 bronze. Belgium 1 gold, 1 bronze. Germany 1 gold, and we have Hong Kong with 1 gold. Uzbekistan also 1 gold, and then Italy has 2 silver, 3 bronze, and we also have Brazil with 1 silver and 2 bronze. So much is happening. Of course, earlier today, the basketball event, Team USA did, were able to show why they are the favorites, of course, and they went on to defeat Serbia. Quite an interesting game. I was following that game, and it was an entertaining one as well. Of course, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, he had a very good game. Showed why he was called up by Coach Steve Kerr, and of course even the likes of Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, and they all came to the party, I must say. Of course, Nikola Jokic as well tried to ensure that Serbia did not go down fighting. But then Team USA were all over them, I must say. They had a very, very good game, and it was more of a run out, I must say, for Team USA, whereby by the end of by the time the fourth quarter was almost ending, they were leading with as much as 20 points. Yes, they had about 106 points to 86 to that of Serbia. So I mean, Team USA were just showing there wasn't really any form of showboating, but then I must say they had a very good game, and they came out despite coming back. Beginning of the first quarter, they came back from about 10 points down, but they went on to ensure that they didn't go down fighting, and at the end it finished 110 points USA to 84 points for Serbia. Of course, for Africa, South Sudan, a very good win for them as they defeated Puerto Rico by about 11 points. Yes, it was 90 points to 79 in favor of South Sudan. Of course, in the other for the women, yes, they needed to go to overtime. I'm talking about the Spanish women basketball team to defeat China 90-89. Yes, it went down to the wire when they took on China. Of course, later today, Serbia will take on Puerto Rico, and of course, these are mouth-watering fixtures to look forward to regarding the basketball event. Of course, yesterday in basketball, France defeated Brazil by 78 to 66 points. Greece defeated Canada. Greece lost to Canada 86 to 79. Yes, Canada defeated Greece 86 to 79. Of course, Germany defeated Japan 97 to 77. So yes, of course, the basketball event of the Olympic Games has begun, and quite interesting games that went down today. So of course, tomorrow, so much games to look forward to. So I'll just take this short breather, and then when I come back, we're talking about Team Nigeria doing quite well, getting ready for the basketball event, and we'll be looking forward to some of our stars coming out. Of course, let's not forget that in tennis event regarding the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, the likes of Tommy Paul has qualified to the next round. Rafael Nadal defeated Fuchsovic by 2 games to 1. He was able to get past his opponent. Of course, with the likes of also had the likes of Kai Nishikori losing to Jack Draper of Great Britain 2 sets to love. And then, of course, Casper Ruud defeated China's Daniel Todd by 2 sets to love. Dan Evans was able to get past his opponent 2 sets to 1. And then, of course, just selected fixtures from the tennis event where Game of Fields representing France lost to Luciano Mossetti of Italy 2 sets to love. Of course, for Team Nigeria, yes, of course, so much is happening. Uh, Girls are going to be playing tomorrow. That's the Tigresses. They'll be taking on their own opponents in the basketball event, and hopefully they'll come out tall. They'll be taking on 10 a.m. Nigerian time. They'll be taking on Australia, of course, tomorrow as well. We look forward to Germany against Belgium, and of course France. Yes, they'll be taking on Canada, with USA playing Japan. Of course, at the moment, it's still first half gone by now, and it's a goalless draw between Nigeria and, of course, Spain. Of course, the first half, and the Super Falcons, I must say, they were able to hold their own tight. Sadly, Rashidat Ajibade couldn't take a chance when she was almost in a one-on-one situation with the goalkeeper, but she couldn't just convert that chance. But then it's a good one for Zambia as they are leading Australia 4 goals to 2. Yes, I'll have to take that again. Zambia is leading Australia at it's halftime, and it's Zambia 4, Australia 2. Of course, Barbara Banda with a hat trick in that game. Fantastic player, I must say. Of course, what with the Zambian women national team not do without Barbara Banda. Prolific goal scorer, I must say, and then of course, hopefully, Team Africa do well. Of course, still speaking of Team Nigeria and of course African teams, regarding the rugby event, yes, South Africa came third. Yes, of course, with France winning that, South Africa won bronze, got the bronze medal in the rugby 7 event. But then, of course, still sticking with Team Nigeria, where some of our athletes are getting ready. Of course, tomorrow we have our table tennis players also, getting ready, and they'll be facing their own opponents, and a good number of the other sports that will be going down for Team Nigeria regarding the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. So, like I said, the Tigresses, they'll be playing 10 a.m. Nigerian time. They'll be taking on Australia, and hopefully will be able to, make us proud, and they'll be able to give us a very good, hopefully give us our very first win, in the Olympic Games. That's for them. Of course, in table tennis, Olajide Omotayo has been knocked out of the singles event. Yes, of course, yesterday he took on Iran's Noshad Almanion, and at the end of the three sets, Olajide Omotayo lost 11-4, 12-10, and then of course 11-8. Which at the end, of course, he was able to pick up one set, as winning that won that by 11-6. However, the remaining sets, the first set went in favor of Noshat Almion, winning that second. It was able to win the second set. Of course, Olajide won the first set 11-6, but then the second set, Almion won that 11-5, and then went on to win the third set 11-4, and then the final set, which ended 11-8. Of course, they went as far as there was a decider, but then it eventually went on to end 11-8. So one of our athletes has just been knocked out. I'm talking about Olajide Omotayo in the Paris 2024 singles event regarding the table tennis event. But then hopefully the likes of Aruna Kodri will be able to make us proud, as he's been doing quite well. And then of course that our other athletes as well. In Fatima Bello and Okon as well will also be doing quite well regarding the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. So we look forward to them doing, making us proud. Of course, tomorrow we have Okon Eden. Yes, she'll be taking on Brazil's Takashi. Of course, in the first round of the table tennis events. Ofyong Edem, yes, will be taking on Bruna Takashi in the women's singles event tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to regarding Team Nigeria. Of course, the boxing events as well. In the boxing events, we had one of our own being knocked out in losing to Ibek Orabe. Adam Olaore lost to Ibek Orabe 5-0. So another of our athletes has also been knocked out. But then, of course, it's not doom and gloom yet. Of course, we have the Super Falcons. Hopefully, they do quite well and give us something to cheer about. Of course, before I leave, yes, football event. Football friendlies going down early hours of today. Arsenal defeated Manchester United 2-1. Goals by Gabriel Jesus after Man United took the lead in 12th minute from Rasmus Højlund. Yes, Arsenal equalized in 26 minutes. And of course, Gabriel Martinelli coming from the bench scored the winner. Of course, at the end of that game, there was a penalty shootout. Ring penalty shootout. United won that 4-3. But then at the end of full time, Arsenal won that. However, the game ended in a worried state for Man United, with the likes of Rasmus Højlund, who had to be substituted after pulling his hamstring, and then of course latest signing Lamil Yoro. Yes, of course he also had to be substituted because he was limping as the game went on. So hopefully United fans will see these players come back in time for the Community Shield when they take on Manchester City in about a couple of weeks' time. Then, of course, Manchester City lost 3-2 to AC Milan yesterday. I must say for Man City, this preseason friendlies have really not been so good for them. They lost 4-3 to Celtic, then of course 3-2 to AC Milan. But then for Pep Guardiola, he stated he wants it's an opportunity for the players to get games in their legs after resting and going on holiday. So hopefully they'll get their acts together and they'll be ready for that Community Shield against Manchester United. Chelsea fans, hey, it's not really looking like good times for you guys, as after playing a 2-2 draw Wrexham, they lost 4-1 to Celtic yesterday. Of course, during the course of the week, they'll be taking on Manchester City in another preseason friendly game. And of course, before the league season starts, they'll be taking on Real Madrid. So wait to see how that pans out. And of course, some transfer update before I get to leave the studio. Of course, reports have emerged that Arsenal are looking at selling Emil Smith Rowe. Yes, he's looking like because he has not been involved in all the preseason games against Bournemouth, and even yesterday when they defeated Manchester United, Emil Smith Rowe has not been part of it. So hey, it's looking like Emil Smith Rowe will be leaving Arsenal. Of course, talks are on between Bayern Munich and of course Manchester United over Nasil Mazari, and looks like he might be joining Manchester United from Bayern Munich. Well, it's still to see whether United will be able to sign on Matthias De Ligt. And then, of course, it looks like it's no longer going to be possible for David De Gea to move to Genoa, as the talks have now broken down because of his unrealistic salary expectation. But time will tell how that pans out. And then, of course, Dani Olmo looks like he might be going to Barcelona, as reports suggest he has agreed a move to Barcelona. Well, wait to see how that pans out. And then, of course, for Manchester United, looks like they will be selling Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham United, as, of course, West Ham have tabled a £50 million bid for him, and looks like that deal is going to be sorted out. Of course, on a sad note, this is me, and then, of course, on behalf of Sport Lounge crew, we're wishing the Ifeanyi family condolences, and hopefully FC Ufayimba, that club that he created, they'll be able to bear the loss. Well, on that note, we'll be signing out now. My name remains Oluwole Lugo. Have a fantastic week ahead, and God bless.